Have you ever stopped to think about why you're not losing your stubborn fat? You're counting calories, scanning barcodes, and still seeing no results. Because the calories aren't the issue, it's the quality of food that you're eating. In this video, I'll be showing you how to cook a very simple meal that's high in nutrients and will guarantee fat loss. And guess what? There's zero calorie counting involved. Ever since I've stopped worrying about caloric intake and prioritizing the nutrition of my food, my fat loss results have increased significantly. And guess what? I've only been doing it for less than a year. So I know this gives quick results. So let me show you how to do it. This meal, I'll be cooking a ribeye steak with rosemary roasted potatoes cooked in butter and a platter of organic fruits drizzled in unpasteurized raw honey. This meal is going to be packed full of nutrients and is going to make you a powerhouse. First of all, we just got to prep before we even get into the cooking. We got to start off with the stainless steel pan. If you're going to be cooking with non-stick and all these other kinds of pans, you're basically ruining the steak. We want to make sure that we hold its nutritional value to the highest possible level so that we can obtain as much nutrients as possible. Things like non-stick, all right, when you heat them up for too long or when they're heated to a high temperature, guess what happens? It releases chemicals into the air and into your food. Another thing is that when you start scraping at the pan, you can see that the coating of the non-stick pan also flakes. So we don't want that because that ends up in our food and then causes things like hormonal imbalances and many other things that are not good for you. The next thing, we're not going to be cooking in these rubbish seed oils, all right? We're not doing that. We're not using that. We're gonna be using beef tallow, okay? It's natural and it's gonna hold a lot more nutrients compared to something like seed oils, okay? Seed oils are horrible, they're toxic, all right? The way that they've been made is something that you don't even wanna know the process of. They've been deodorized, they've been filtered, they've been sprayed with chemicals and pesticides. All of that is just a no-go if you want good nutrients. When it comes to the fruits, we're gonna be using only organic. Something like these bananas, okay? As you can see, it says organic, all right? I only buy organic fruits because those ones are not sprayed with pesticides. They're naturally grown and you don't have to worry about eating things like pesticides because those can cause really bad effects as well. Yeah, that does get rid of the majority of pesticides. However, you kind of sacrifice taste a little bit. Normal fruits, if you don't buy them organic, they just don't taste as good as organic fruits. They have better taste, they're sweeter, they're just a lot nicer to eat. So what are the consequences of not using these things? Your hormonal structure will be unbalanced, meaning that your body will have less of a chance to be able to build that muscle and you will start to hold on to the fat. The chemicals get inside your food, decreasing the nutritional value of your food, making you unhealthy. We want to avoid things that are going to cause bad effects as much as possible. Being able to adapt things like this, cooking with beef tallow, stainless steel pans, organic fruits, meat, potatoes. Having this kind of habit and this style of eating is gonna cause you to have better mood. You're gonna have more energy. You're gonna have less cravings. You're gonna lose fat instantly. You're gonna build strength. The benefits of this are insane. You're gonna turn into Superman. Like, you're gonna be crazy. This way of eating is not commonly done by most people because they are too focused on eating on the bad foods because they taste so good. But when you start to adapt foods like this will be the best tasting thing in the world. I love eating what we're about to make: steak, potatoes, fruits. It's just my favorite thing. I love it and I can have it all the time. Now that you've fully prepared yourself to make this as nutritional as possible, this is how you cook it. Okay, so first we're gonna start off by cutting the potatoes, right? The amazing thing about carbs is that this is listen, people might tell you that carbs are not beneficial for your body and that if you want to lose weight, you have to cut your carbs. And that's just a bunch of rubbish. Okay, you need carbs. That's why I highly prioritize carbs too, like having honey, having fruits, having potatoes. These kinds of carbs are what are able to regulate your hormones, right? And also, you think that, and listen, carbs also help with hydration because when you have insulin in your body, when you have things like fruits and whatnot, your body sends signals. Your body is able to hold on to electrolytes. That's why most people that don't have a lot of carbs, they have to have high levels of salt to be able to have electrolytes so that they can be somewhat hydrated. But when you have carbs, you don't have to worry about that because your body sends signals when having carbs to be able to keep and hold on to those electrolytes. And I'll tell you right now, carbs taste a lot better than salt.
And also carbs will do the things that, you need in terms of energy, right? Carbs are good to have before a workout because afterwards you obviously have the energy to be able to go hard in your workouts. And another thing, carbs actually help with fat loss. People think that if you eat too many carbs, you get fat and, you hold on to water, but that's not the case, right? Carbs actually help your thyroid function, right? People that don't have enough carbs because they feel like that is something that's going to make them fat or hold on to a lot of water, they actually start to realize that they get colder, right? And this has to do with your thyroid health. Carbs actually help with thyroid health. And the reason why it can help with fat loss as well is because when you have good thyroid health, it actually helps your thermal status of your body. When you have a higher thermal status in your body, guess what can happen? You start to burn fat because you have a higher thermal status in your body. So having something like carbs is actually beneficial if you want to lose weight. So now what we're going to do is we're going to soak these potatoes. You need to wash the starch off, all right? This makes it more crispy. So we're gonna let that soak in water for a little bit. So for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna preheat the oven. We're gonna preheat the oven to about 200 degrees Celsius. Preheat it for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna prep the tray. And I kind of cut them into smaller cubes because they cook quicker that way. At the end of the day, I like to cook with efficiency and as quick as possible. When I get hungry, I don't want to wait. So I just want to eat my food. So what we're going to do is just cut up some butter and just place it in between all the cracks. Butter just tastes good with everything. Do you know what I mean? When you add butter to things, it just tastes better. I don't understand the people that add olive oil to their food or cook with olive oil and then that makes them feel healthy, even though it tastes like shit, all right? Also, cooking with olive oil is not great. Olive oil was only meant to be used as a dressing, all right? Olive oil, when you cook it and you heat it up, it gets rancid. So it ends up being equally as bad as something like seed oils. Same thing with avocado oil. If you're cooking with avocado oil, it's the exact same thing. You heat it, it turns rancid, and then it doesn't end up being good for you. You don't want that. Stick with cooking with fats like this that stay solid, right? Ghee, beef tallow, butter. Those are the best things, and they taste good too. Because I'm impatient, and I don't know if it's been 10 minutes, we're gonna put this in the oven. Then we season it. Add some salt and some rosemary. Rosemary tastes so good. You want to shake it around a bit. So what I like to do is leave it in the bottom shelf for about 20 minutes, let it crisp, and then after put it on the top shelf for another 20 minutes so it gets soft and even more crispy. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna let the potatoes cook for a little bit. Once I move it to the top shelf, that's when we will start preparing the steak. Because if I start preparing the steak now, obviously it will end up being cold by the time I take out the potatoes. We want everything to be hot and ready at the same time. Okay, while the potatoes are cooking, this is a good time for us to prepare the fruits, okay? Now, I want to talk about the benefits of fruits. They are better than vegetables. This is probably going to be the best news that you ever heard in your life, okay? Completely cut out vegetables in terms of leafy greens, right? Spinach, kale, the leafy greens, mainly spinach and kale. The reason that fruits are better than vegetables like leafy greens are because leafy vegetables hold defense chemicals, which are naturally produced by the plant itself. They're not meant to be eaten by humans. It's literally a tree. Spinach and kale, what does it look like to you? If you walk past it, you think it's a bush. It's not anything. Do you know what I mean? But fruits, they're clearly meant to be consumed. right? And through evolution, through time, fruits have always been something that people naturally will consume, all right? Like in a survival situation, we're gonna go practical here. In a survival situation, you end up on a stranded island, yeah? You got spinach and kale on one side, and you got coconuts and bananas, some kind of fruits on the other side. What provides more hydration? Fruits. What provides more energy? Fruits. What provides more nutrients in general? Fruits, all right? You don't need vegetables, okay? I don't eat vegetables. Now, you can consider potatoes a vegetable, sure. But I'm talking in terms of leafy ones like cabbage, lettuce, or other ones. I just don't find that they are necessary. And fruits obviously just taste a lot better, right? They're sweet. When you buy them at the right season, they just taste amazing, man. Like a banana, come on, man. Banana's bussin'. I will assemble this properly. You're gonna see my plate. It's gonna look amazing. And listen, fruits hold way more nutrients than vegetables, all right? They help with immunity, right? We all know that when you have fruits, they all contain a lot of vitamin C, all right? And they hold so much nutrients, they give you energy, they help you hold on to electrolytes from what I was talking about earlier, all right? Carbs like these, they spike, they help you hold on to electrolytes, right? Now, you could cut it a bit neater than I did. I want my plate to at least look presentable. That's good enough for me, so I'm just gonna eat the rest. Yep. Enjoy the mouth sounds. Hey, listen, I love kiwis. Kiwis are amazing, all right? They're just, when you find the right ones, they're sweet, they're hydrating, they have so many benefits. And yes, I eat it with the skin, all right? Because I do. I'm just not bothered to peel skin and then start eating the fruit. I don't even mind the skin. I actually like it. I prefer to have it with the skin. It's just, I kind of like the popping sensation, you know? Yeah, man, and when you start adding honey to this, and these are golden ones too. These are bussin'. I was gonna cut the melon, but I don't think we're gonna have enough space on the plate. But melon as well is perfect, all right? Melon as a snack, all right, is amazing. Melon, watermelon, cantaloupe, whatever. The reason it's so amazing is because of its high water content. This is gonna hydrate you better than water, okay? It sounds crazy, but I can just drink water to be hydrated. You need to learn hydration, okay? We were just speaking about electrolytes. Things like watermelon, coconuts, melon can hydrate your body better than water, only because of its ability to give you high amounts of electrolytes that help your body hydrate. All right, so now we're gonna start cooking the steak. Before anything, we wanna preheat the pan, all right? We want it to be at a high heat, all right? We want good sear with this. That's another good thing about stainless steel as well, is that it will create a really good sear for the steak. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pat the steak dry, all right? That's the main thing. If we want a good sear, we wanna pat the steak dry, okay? We want it to be completely dry. That's what's gonna create a good sear, and the seasoning will stick very well too. Now, this is what we're gonna season it with. Salt, garlic, powder, pepper. That's pretty much it. Generously season, all right? We wanna put a good amount of seasoning on this. And I'm a salt guy, I like salt. And what we wanna do is we wanna season with one hand, touch the meat with another hand. We don't wanna put the meat hand in the seasoning. Go, bro. And once you apply the salt, you want to cook it as quickly as possible because salt releases moisture. Once that moisture starts to come out, the sear won't be good. We want a good sear, good crisp on the steak, you know? All right, looks good. So now we add the beef tallow in. You'll probably be hot enough by now. Beef tallow in. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay the steak away from us, okay? I don't wanna get flipping cooked. I literally don't wanna get cooked. So, That's it. High heat. We want a good sear. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sear it for about 3 minutes on each side. This is where we're gonna get a perfect medium rare. Another good thing about cooking it on high heat, it renders the fat, so it makes it somewhat eatable. I don't like it when the fat has not been rendered, you know, when it has a bit of a crisp. Now listen, the benefits of steak are tremendous. Steak is literally a superfood. The amount of nutrition that you get from meat, and it just, listen, the benefits you get from steak, you get stronger, you have better recovery, you get better vitamins, you get so much nutrients, right? It boosts testosterone, and it also contains creatine. Creatine is also an amazing thing to have. Even if you can supplement it, because not everyone gets the perfect amount of creatine a day. I personally supplement creatine. So having something like creatine will boost performance, will aid recovery. So that way, when you come back to the gym, you'll be strong every single time, right? Steak holds so much nutrients. It's something that you just can't turn down. It's so good for you. All right, so it's about time to flip it now. Oh yeah. That's it. It's good. Now you don't want to push down on the steak, because when you push down on it, you make it cook quicker, and then after we won't get the medium rare that we're looking for. Okay, as the steak is finishing up, the potatoes are now ready. Look at those crispy potatoes. Passing. See, this is when you know I'm a good chef. Look at all the even cuts. Look how evenly that is cut. Like every single cube is exactly the same. We're gonna now add the potatoes. The steak is almost ready. Now, the meal is ready. We got our potatoes, we got our steak, we got our fruits. The last thing we gotta add is some raw, unpasteurized honey. Especially when it's raw, holds so much nutrients. It's medicinal, it boosts strength, it boosts performance, even helps with sexual benefits. And that is it, the perfect meal. This is the meal that will create a warrior, okay? Now listen, if you're picky, and you don't want to put fruits on the same plate as the steak, up to you. For me, I don't care. It all tastes good to me. Now, this meal will eliminate all of your problems. You will eliminate that fat from your body so quickly when you eat foods like this. But the only hard part is the commitment. So if you don't commit, what happens if you don't apply what I just showed you today? You will continue to take easy options, which 9 times out of 10 will be unhealthy and ruin your progress. You'll rely on motivation, which is where your commitment will fade. And your progress will go absolutely nowhere, and you will continue to stay on your path where you'll be overweight and unhealthy. Now listen, eating this way isn't as hard as you think. All it takes is a little bit of commitment until your body can adapt to foods like this, and you will feel amazing. You'll feel young again. You will feel strong. You'll feel energetic, and you will never want to go back to eating bad ever again after you get used to eating this. So this is how to cook the ultimate high protein meal. It's simple, fast, and there's 0 calorie counting involved. Use it today, use it this week, and you'll see how easy it is to stay consistent, and you will see yourself getting lean instantly. But here's the truth, just cooking this meal won't get you the results you want unless you truly commit to doing this for a lifetime. Most people will fall back into cravings and can't control themselves because they put themselves in a bad environment where there's a lot of bad food around them. That's why they stay stuck despite eating clean once in a while. So that's why I created my Train Less and Eat Smart blueprint. It shows you how to burn fat using nutrition rather than calories in and calories out, alongside workout routines that don't cut into your personal life. You can book a free 15-minute call with me by clicking the link in the description, and I promise you that I will get you losing fat within 30 days. For more high-value free content, click on this video right here where I speak about how busy people like yourselves can cook easy meals for work in just 30 minutes. I'll see you there.